Okay. Good. Okay, good. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So hello, everybody. This is great that we can meet here. Now, some people, they will be watching only the video because they are in a kind of tough time schedule. You know, I'm sorry, but I mean, it was the best possible compromise. I know that Maureen is in Singapore, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. That's really.
It is 2 a.m. After this, I'm going to have breakfast.
Yeah, very good. So that's very, very good motivation. Okay. So some people will drop in and out. Sometimes will be more, sometimes will be less. So, but we shouldn't get bothered by that. Yeah, we just keep going. Okay, so let's start immediately with the usual way. Pomanda dedication meditation. Okay, so if you have a pomanda, use a pomanda. Otherwise, just imagine some color that you spread with your hands. That's also okay. So where's my pomanda here? So I'm going to use the gold pomanda, which relates to wisdom and stuff. So I think it's something we'll be using a lot during these 3 days. Okay, so let's do it together. Just put a few drops of the pomanda on your left hand. We rub our hands together. And then first we spread it to the world. Imagining this ray of golden light going out of our left hand, all around the planet and coming back into our right hand. Imagining that we share this energy with the planet, that we share this energy with all the beings on the planet, those on the earth, those in the sky, and those in the air. May they all benefit from this golden light. The golden light of wisdom, the golden light relating to a deeper dimension of all that is. And then after having shared with the world, we can take this pomanda to ourselves, starting from the 7th chakra, and just allowing the properties of the pomanda, the crystal and herbs, nourish our aura like a beneficial shower that's nurturing our aura. Slowly going back to the occipital area, clearing everything that's behind us. Letting go of everything that has happened already today, what we've heard, what we've seen, and just let it go. Then we'll move slowly forward to the temples of awareness, opening the temple of the doors of our temple to ever greater awareness. Really allowing awareness to come into us. And then we bring the hands together, left and right, female and male, and we come slowly down through the third eye to the communication center. Giving this gold pomanda to our communication center. So that our wisdom might express more and more in the world. Then we feel free to express our wisdom. And then we come slowly further down, over the shoulders. We take all weight that we might have on the shoulders. We try to take it off with this pomanda. And then we come down to the chest, to the heart. and give this energy to our heart. Really allowing the energy to go deep into our heart. Into the depths of our heart, so that it might reach and activate the wisdom that is in our heart, in the depths of our heart. Then we can use this moment also to send this golden energy from our heart to all the hearts of the people connected with us. Might they all benefit from this energy. And then we continue to the third chakra, also the bag of the third chakra, then the second chakra, the first chakra, the root of the first chakra down to Mother Earth. We go down to Mother Earth. We hope that she might receive what we have to offer. And then we slowly come back up and we breathe a few times in our own tempo. Okay, thank you very much. So we energized a little bit our energy field, our etheric field. And then the next step is the dedication. And I would like to dedicate this candle today. I have the candle here. I'd like to dedicate this candle not to peace like you might think, but I'd like to dedicate it to justice. Because there cannot be any peace without justice. Really, justice is the foundation of peace. Now, justice, that is justice not only outside, is also justice inside ourselves. That means that we learn to balance the different aspects and the different challenges we have inside ourselves in a healthy way. So none of those parts of us has to suffer, that it's balanced, that we can let go of the extremes and come to a balance inside ourselves. And then that balance eventually might show itself also outside, okay? So this is justice, outside ourselves and inside ourselves. So the light is burning. This, I don't know how you call this in English, I forgot. It's very long, so I need to let it burn down a little bit so it reaches the box, so we can be sure it will continue. Okay, good. So, Pomanda, dedication, and a little meditation. Okay, so this will be very simple meditation, and just gonna close our eyes and sit inside ourselves and try to feel our inner balance, and then try to send out this balance as a kind of protection for everybody's out there who's in need. We all know what's happening, you know, and so just on an energetic level, we want to take adventure, give a little contribution. Okay, so let's just sit, make yourself comfortable in a way that you don't fall asleep. And then let's just close our eyes and go inside ourselves. Just a second. Okay. Just allowing yourself to be with yourself and see, be simply as much in harmony as possible with yourself. And just come back to your inner balance if you get lost in thinking. Just feel your energy moving outside of you out, wherever it's needed. Soon I'm going to call you back to the normal working consciousness. So when you feel ready, you can open your eyes to a new moment in your own time. Okay, good. So welcome to the level 3. So I know we are not all who are here, but I would just like to hear just briefly from you. How did it go since the last course we did? How is it going for you with the Beamer pen? What is happening for you? Because then, you know, it's not only about the material we're going to share in this course, but really I want this course also to become a possibility for each one of us individually to gain a bit more clarity about the things we are busy with in our everyday life, or with ourselves, with other patients, or with whatever we do. Okay, good. So I'm gonna do it in the way it's on my screen. So I'm gonna start with Lindl up there on the left. So Lindl, tell me, how is it going? How did it go? And what do you expect? You need to switch your mic on.
Right.
Great. There you are.
So I've not been working on other people very much, but I've been working a little bit on myself, and I do find the energy, I find it really tremendous when I do work on myself. I'm finding I need to ground myself a lot at the moment. I still feel that I'm not grounded enough, so that's a little bit of a challenge for me. I've got a whole set of all new 50 ml bottles arriving on the 29th of March. They're not coming till then because I've got someone coming to stay before then. And I didn't really want them to be living in the same room as the bottles. So that's really exciting because I've had a few people who have wanted to come for readings, but because I've only got the 25 ml and not the 50 ml, but I will have the 50 ml. And I feel the latest bottles are so incredibly important at the moment, and I felt I needed to be able to offer them a complete set. So I was quite excited, and I'm really pleased about that. And I went to the small gathering at Aura Soma when they had a small sort of Mike did a workshop there, and that was lovely to network with people. And so I'm just excited to be here now, and I feel that this is going to sort of really get me going to be working more. I've written up all my notes, and I'm all ready, and there's a little church that I can probably go and work in, which again is going to be opening up soon, and that's going to be sort of April, May onwards. So there's a lot that's going to be happening, but not a great deal at the moment. But it's lovely to be here and to see some old faces and maybe some new ones too.
Great, great, great. Okay, thank you, Linda. No, that's good. So there's a lot happening for you, a lot of coming towards you in the future. That's very nice. And I feel you're also very much alive. So I think it's good for you. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Fernando, ¿qué tal? Fernando from Barcelona, tell us something. How are you doing? So Lindl, she's in London, and Fernando, he's in Barcelona.
Ahora sí, estaba en silencio. Pues bueno, a ver, a mí a la luz y el color siempre me ha conectado un montón conjuntamente con el sonido y la música. La pluma de luz ha sido muy especial todo este tiempo.
He
Especial.
connects the light and the color with the music, and he says the beamer light pen has been very special for him. All this time, since last time, he did the second level, we did the second level, he was also there, Fernando.
Y he trabajado con pacientes, conmigo también, y sobre todo estas últimas semanas, porque he tenido una rotura del metatarso del pie, del dedo.
Yeah, I see it. So he's been working a lot with client and also with himself because he broke a bone of his foot.
Entonces, mucho 26.
A lot of 26.
Y también magenta.
And magenta. And you're better now? Good.
Muy bien, se ha desinflamado bastante rápido. Ha liberado mucho calor.
Wow, the inflammation went really down fast with the beamer light pen instead of the heat went down. Great, Fernando. I'm happy you're here. Okay.
Thank you. Me too.
We'll enjoy. Thank you. Okay, Maureen. Maureen is in Singapore. Maureen, how did it go and how is it going?
I've been using the beamer pen on myself every day, and I've able to tune into the different frequencies of each colors, and sometimes I receive messages from the colors itself on my different chakras, which sometimes amazes me when the messages come. In Singapore, I'm trying to make people aware of what we do, and I find that Singaporeans don't really understand or believe in our modality in this beamer pen. They do understand light, basically, like you go into the sunlight and that's the most basic light therapy that you can receive. However, when I go into the mechanics of it, they're not really there. So I'm trying to now fine tune my description of my service in terms of more color healing so that they can understand. As in my work, my healing work, when I do on them, it doesn't change. But the way I describe and explain to them, I have to bring it down to a level where they can relate to. So because everybody understands colors and they know what colors do for them, but they have not reached across to the other side where they understand that colors can actually heal us. So I guess that's where I need to educate my clients and the people here. And that's the challenge I face, because I truly believe in the energies and I know what they're doing. But for the ordinary people, I don't think they know. So it's kind of a bit of a challenge here, but I'll still continue anyway, because firsthand, I know what the energies are doing for me. So I truly believe in that.
You know, it touched you. So for sure, there are other people like you that it can touch, you know?
Yeah.
So naturally, I know it is a challenge when the people come from a very different mindset, and so it's a lot about education. It's also a lot about vocabulary, the kind of words you choose, how you talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I used to come, I just tell it as it is scientifically and the whole thing about it, but I think it's just too much for them to take. So I really have to just come down and tell them it's really just healing from the various colors, that's all. And I think they are able to accept that better.
And the thing is, yeah, you know, people come to you, why? Because they need help. Why they need help?
Yeah.
Because they made some mistakes, some wrong decisions, things happen to them, okay? Otherwise, they would not come to you. Why did they do that? Because they basically could not see enough about what is. So the view of their situation was limited. Now, if you have a limited view, then also you have limited facts, and it's difficult to make right decisions. So a lot of the work we do, and especially the work we're going to do during these 3 days, is about opening up this view a little bit. That you look at yourself and your situation not only in the way you used to look, you know, maybe, I don't know, based on whatever terms are important for you, family or money or job or whatever, but you try to look in a wider way. So in this way, it's about growth, you know, and because you see, children grow as young adults, but at a certain point, our physical growth stops. But our real growth continues. What is the real growth about? It is about our inner image. It's about who we are. It's about how we are. It's about all those things. Okay. And this situation comes up, especially if you're challenged, like the challenge we had with the COVID and stuff. Then people somehow feel, I need something more. Then they come to you. Then you have to find a way to give them what they're coming for.
Yeah.
And that is also a lot about the way you talk. So as a basic rule, if you give less, it's better. Don't give more, give less.
Yeah, I learned that. Yes.
Anyway, they can't take it.
Yeah, they cannot appreciate or understand the full spectrum of what we're doing. Yeah.
They cannot. So you need to correct, as you say, the color they can relate to, and you start with that very basic about the color and how the color can help them. And then eventually, when they get more acquainted, when they relax a little bit, then also you can tell them more, and then also they can go deeper.
Yep.
You know, because behind them not understanding is fear. It's fear. It's not they don't understand. They're afraid to enter into something they don't know. No? So this fear, you cannot just take away like this. It comes as they gain more confidence, as they feel more relaxed, as they see that it's not strange stuff, that you're not changing their soul or whatever, then they're able to relax. So especially in the beginning, it's better to talk less. So you're doing in the right direction, Maureen. Very good. You'll love this one here. This one is a bit more advanced, but you know, you will see it's very, very interesting. Okay, good. Thank you, Maureen. So Denise, where are you, Denise? You are in Canada, right? On the border with the USA, if I remember.
Yes, I am.
In the city, what is the name of your city? Something.
Medicine Hat,
Medicine
Alberta.
Hat.
Yes.
That's a really shamanic name.
Yes.
It looks also shamanic. What do you have there in the back of you? Is that a bear or something?
It's a bear and a
It's
buffalo.
a bear, a black bear.
Yes.
Did you hunt it?
I did not, no. My husband did.
With a gun or with a arrow?
I think he got this one with a gun. He does do both. Yeah.
In Canada, you have a lot of them.
Yes, we do.
So tell me, Denise, how is it going for you? What happened to you after? What are you doing with the beamer pen? Are you doing? Tell us a little bit.
Well, I have been working mostly on family. My husband, my daughter, my brothers. I have a brother going through a kind of an ugly divorce, and that seems to be helping him quite a bit. Seems to move the energy around so that he can focus on himself and his children. My daughter, she's training for a fight. She does kickboxing, and she comes home and she goes, she's hurt this or that, and she'll grab my pens and bring them to me to work on her, so that she knows that they're going to work for her. And yeah, it's my husband, I've worked on him, and he was able to move past some of the things that he had blocking him. And he seems much happier. He was able to change careers and move to something that he's happier doing. So yeah, that in my life, they've made quite a difference. I haven't moved out of the family area with working on them, but that's where I am right now. Yeah.
Good. But it seems anyway. It seems now intense enough. Your your family area you're working on, no? So I think it's a nice field for experience. So
Yes.
very good, very good. You will like this course also. It's a bit different, but you will like it.
I'm
Okay,
looking
good.
forward to it.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Denise. So then, whom do we have? Heather. Heather, you are in. Yeah, you're somewhere in America, but where in the middle? I don't remember which state you are in.
North Carolina. In North Carolina.
Ah, North Carolina. Okay, so tell me, Heather, how is it going? How did it go? What did you do?
It's going well. Since the last class, most of my time that I've had for this work is organizing the notes. So I went back to class 1, class 2, and reorganized it in a way that I could use it in session. And so I use it with my kinesiology clients to kind of tie into it, and I like it. They can feel it. So I blend it with some other work. Very interesting, loving it. Looking forward to this class.
Very good, very good. You look more relaxed to me this time.
Okay, I feel more relaxed.
Yeah. You look
Last
more
fall,
relaxed.
I had a lot of classes going on, so I was a little more stressed out.
Very good, very good. Great, Heather. Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here. So Tara, I don't know whether she's there or not because, yeah, she is, because she said she'll be in and out because she has people. So tell us, Tara. Tara is in Salt Lake City. That is Nevada, right?
Utah.
Utah, that is Utah. But Las
I was
Vegas,
born in Nevada.
Las Vegas is Nevada, right?
Yeah, Las Vegas is in Nevada.
But you're already in Utah. Okay, good. So tell me, Tara, what is happening for you? What did happen for you with the Beamer pen?
I use the Beamer light pen all the time with I do kinesiology. And so I use it for, I use the protocols that I've gotten from you with it. I use it just to trace meridians, and I use it in another class. I use it a lot with when I'm doing chakra balances. I don't know if you've ever heard of 7 chi keys balance or the figure 8 balance. I use a lot with those. The body really likes the light pen. And when I get, because I use tuning forks too, and I would say the majority of the time the body wants the light pen.
Yeah, good. Great, Tara. Thank you very much. So you will see this course is a bit different, quite different from the other ones we did. It goes a little bit deeper, but you will see. Also, this one you will be able to combine with what you're already doing. No? Okay, good. Thank you very much. So whenever somebody of the other shows up, we're gonna have them talk. Otherwise, we just go ahead and they will watch the video. So what we are talking about this in this course is called the Mayan wisdom. Okay. So now, why the Mayas? Why do we need the Mayas? What is different about the Mayas compared to other peoples? Yeah, compared to the Egyptians, compared to the Red Indians. What's the thing about them? What is different? Why do we have them? So you've seen that in the basic course we have introduced the Mayan gates. So energy points and energy areas on the body that relate to specific structures of the Mayan system, structures which is called the glyphs. Yeah, these symbols we are talking about. I mean, so far you've just known them and a little bit the location on the body, and you've heard the name and you got a brief introduction into them. But this time we're going to go a little bit deeper into the whole thing and into the philosophy that is behind it. You know that ancient philosophy is one of the 4 pillars of the Beamer light pen system, and so the Mayan wisdom is part of this ancient philosophy. So when we look at the Mayas, you know, and they went through different phases in their development, in their historical development, but when we look at them, what they've created and what they brought, then some facts stand out. So basically, we have two different Mayan civilizations. The first Mayan civilization, that is a really old civilization, about 3,000 years ago, and then the second Mayan civilization. So the first civilization went down, like degraded, but then caught itself up, and then it had a second wave, which of course but was culturally not as high anymore as the first wave. The scriptures we have are only from the second wave. We have very few scriptures from the Mayas, just 4 Mayan codices, which are in different museums in the world. And we don't have any Rosetta Stone like we had for the Egyptians, which allowed us to decipher the Egyptian hieroglyphs. And so a lot of the Mayan culture is still shrouded in mystery. And also the writing. We don't really understand everything about the writing. It's a symbolic kind of writing, so like hieroglyphs, like also the Egyptians have. So it's a writing in images. Okay, so when we cannot even imagine what it is like to write in images, yeah, because we're so much used to the linear. You know, now the Asian people different, little bit different, you know, because they have the ideograms, which are a bit like, they are symbols, so they are like pictures, but the ideograms in the Asian languages like Chinese or Japanese, they are so abstract that it cannot create any emotional reaction in you. So you experience them from the knowledge level, like a letter. You know, this ideogram means this because there are these signs, but it's not that you feel anything. Okay, which is different in the Mayan language, especially if you look at the way these signs are written. It's different. It's really a symbol that touches you, that has the power to touch you. And the idea of the symbol really is holistic communication. Okay, so which is a kind of communication that, for example, the dolphins use. We know that the dolphins, when they communicate in images, and the image contains everything. So it contains how they feel, where they are, the surroundings, the whole picture. Okay, so naturally, this is a very effective kind of communication when you can do it. Just imagine, I ask you, for example, how are you? Okay, now you say, I'm fine. Yeah, okay, let's forget about that. But if I really ask you, how are you? And you describe to me how you really are, it will take you at least 10, 15 minutes to describe how you are concerning your body, how you are concerning your thinking, how you are concerning what is happening to you. You know, if you really want to describe how you are in this moment, it will take a long time, and it will take many, many words. Okay? Now imagine you could communicate all that just as one image. Just boom. You show this image, and boom, I get the whole picture. Or I show you an image, you get the whole picture. Okay? So this is the power of the symbolic language. A symbol is unlimited in what it can contain. Okay, it can contain many things, and also it is open to interpretation. Everybody will experience the symbol differently. Okay, so we can talk about the same symbol, but each one of us will experience the symbol differently. But still, we are all connected through the symbol. So in this way, the symbol can also unify. And unification is one of the key words if we want to move to a state of balance, a state of health. You know, we usually we get into trouble because we cannot reconcile different impulses we have inside ourselves, which go in different directions. Okay, so let's say I want to be free, but also I want to be taken care of. You know, both things are not possible. You know, they go in two different directions. If you're taken care of, you're not free. If you're free and nobody will take care of you because you're just by yourself. Okay, so these two, to bring them together, to unify these things, that both aspects are satisfied. So basically it is about harmony. So when we look at the mind calendar, then the calendar is round. Our calendar is rectangular. If you look at the calendar, it's rectangular, and the other lines, it goes up and down or left and right. You know, it's rectangular. It's not harmonious somehow, right? It has a beginning and an end. Not the mind calendar. Has no beginning, has no end. Okay, now we put a beginning and we put an end, but really it has no beginning, it has no end. It's a continuous calendar. So as a calendar describes the running of time, there's no beginning and there's no end of time. It's eternal. It's eternal. And this is what the mind culture has, which none of the other cultures has in this way. It's connected with eternity. And not only eternity inside ourselves, also eternity outside ourselves is connected to the universe. Okay? So the minds have always considered the universe, not just the world they can perceive like this, but also what is beyond, really trying to reach into the universal dimension. Okay, well, now we ask ourselves, how does that come? The strange things about the mind is that there are other people in South America that were there before the Mayans, the Olmecs, the Toltecs, and they also had calendars. So the calendar is not something that the Mayan invented. But then suddenly, somehow these Mayans appear. And when the Mayans appear, it's like a culture shock. There is immediately very high cultural achievement, which is difficult to understand how they got there. Okay, so for example, we don't have any writings, but we have artifacts, you know, pottery and stuff they found. The pottery is very sophisticated and you cannot really see any development. It's like started very sophisticated. Normally, if you look at other cultures, you say, okay, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, they did like this, and then 100 years later, they were able to do this, and then another 200, you know, and you see over time how they develop the art. Here not, just starts from zero. And then this idea about the universe. So I personally believe that somehow these people must have come from outside, from outer space. You know, maybe they crashed with their aircraft or what's their spacecraft, and but they knew they came from outside, so they wanted to come back there. I don't know, something like that, because otherwise it cannot be explained. Because what we have from the mind is buildings. Now, they build in a harmonious way connected to the Earth's magnetic field. So the buildings, they are aligned with the Earth's magnetic field. They are aligned north, south, east, west, and stuff. You say that's easy. No, it's not so easy. It's not. It might be easy for us to put a compass, but at that time, not. Because you say, yeah, we put the window in the east and we put the other window in the south. Yeah, but the east every day is different because sun is moving. So today the east is here, tomorrow it's there, tomorrow it's there. And you don't know how you're going to align. And they managed to do that. Okay. And then they managed to build buildings which are high and which are still there today after thousands of years, which is also quite an achievement. And so we get some ideas from from the mind codices which we have from the second phase of the mind. And these codices, they're different codices, and but somehow they all relate to the sky, to the stars and stuff, to Venus. They were very interested about Venus, you know, which the particular thing about Venus is that it sometimes it's a morning star and sometimes it's an evening star. So sometimes it's the first star you see in the morning, sometimes it's the last star, sometimes it's the last star you see in the morning, sometimes it's the first star you see in the evening. So they've been very busy with Venus, and they calculated how long it takes for Venus to go around the sun and all that kind of stuff. But they calculated that with the tools of the time, which I don't know what tools they had, a pen basically, probably, with an accuracy that is very little different from what we know today. No? So Venus goes around the sun in 260 days, and the number they came up with is just about an hour different from what the NASA came up with. So we don't understand how they were able to do this. Okay, so somehow very high technology, somehow concerning to the big thing, the universe, the big spaces, all that stuff. Okay, so this is one aspect of the mind culture, and then the other aspect is their fixation with time. Okay, and their concept of time. So if you make a round calendar, then it becomes very quickly clear that things repeat themselves. Okay, so because I mean you go around and around again. It's different with our calendar. You then it ends, then you have to change the page, and then it starts again. It's not so clear to see that it repeats. Okay, so here it repeats itself, and therefore they were interested about the special connotation of time, the special dimension that time gave to each moment. And therefore, if you look at the circle, if you look at this repetition, then naturally you come into a realm of cycles. You come also into a realm of rhythm, a certain rhythm, certain kind of cycles. So now when you have cycles, it means things repeat themselves. When things repeat themselves, you can learn. You know, if things don't repeat, you cannot learn. You know, you cannot learn by doing something once, usually. You have to do it several times, and each time you do it, you become better. So as things repeat, we become better. You know, this is true also in our life. Our relationships become better because we become more sensitive, we are more careful what we say, what we don't say, how we say it. You know, we take better care. We know more how sensitive people are. So as we learn, our relationships should become better. If they're not becoming better, means you're not learning. It's not the other people's fault, it's your fault. So when we look at the cycle and the learning and the cycle of time, then naturally the question comes, what do you do when? Now, this comes from agriculture. In agriculture, it's very different. You know, you need to put the seed at the right time. It's not that you can put the seed in winter, in the middle of the winter, or you can put the seed in the middle of the summer, depends on the plant, of course. Usually you have to put the seed at the right time. And then also you have to do the harvest at the right time. Okay, so the right thing at the right time will make you successful. Okay, so then we know that climate is very unpredictable. But so the minds had also the normal calendars, the 365 calendars for this purpose, for the agriculture, to understand better what to do when. And then from there, the step was not so far to say, okay, if it's true for agriculture, then it should be true also for everything else. So whatever aspect of my life I do in this universe, somehow there's a right time and a wrong time for it. Somehow there's a way where it's easy to do it, And somehow there's a way where it's hard to do. So how can I, if I learn to understand the rhythm of life, and if I'm able to flow with the rhythm of life, then naturally my life will become easier. It will become effortless. Because if you do the right thing at the right time, then it will be effortless. If you do it at the wrong time, then it will take a lot of effort. Okay, so the majority of us, me included, we put too much effort for the result we then get, because we are not aligned somehow with the time. And then if we look at some very successful people, then you see they can sometimes they have success with very little effort, because the timing is right. They do the right thing at the right time. You know? And this is true. Not only about doing, this is also true about communication. You know, you say the right thing at the wrong time, you get a lot of trouble. You say the right thing at the right time, it might really improve something. Okay, so really the Mayan spirituality is about doing the right thing at the right time, and to find out when to do the right thing at the right time. And this is the power of the Tzolk'in, the spiritual Mayan calendar, that it can help us and it can teach us how to do the right thing at the right time. Because today it's not enough to do the right thing. If you do it too early, you will have trouble. If you have to do it too late, also you will have trouble. You need to do it at the right time. And because life is so unpredictable, it's very difficult to see when the right time is. Should I do it now, or should I do it later? What kind of energy do we have today? What will be easy? What will be difficult? So naturally, if you work like this in the energetic dimension, then we'll become more successful, because our work will become more effective, because we have to overcome less resistance. You know, when we work with people, resistance is the main issue. How to overcome the resistance? Okay, so resistance means people don't listen, people don't do what you say, people know better than you. You know, all these kind of things. So resistance is basically the expression of not wanting to change. You know, the average patient, the normal patient that comes to you, or the normal client that comes to you, is a bit schizophrenic. On one hand, he wants to change. On one hand, he does not want to change. He would like to change in a way that he can stay the way he is. It's not possible. Huh? So when I use the Mayan calendar, and you know, on the third day we'll do more the personalized stuff. We understand better. So when I use the Mayan calendar for the patient, then I can explain to him, listen, look, this is the way it should be. You know, it's not because I say it, it's because the calendar says it. And really, you should put your effort, your energy, or whatever it is at this point in time in this direction, because this is easy now. Of course you can do the other thing also, but it is difficult, you know. And we don't want a more difficult life. We want a more easy life. Everybody wants a more easy life. I don't know if anybody wants his life to be more difficult, but generally not. Okay, so why gets our life difficult? Why does our life get difficult in the first place, or why do we get our self in trouble? Because we might be doing the right thing, but at the wrong time. Then again, it's not working. So it really is about the right thing at the right time. And for us, and also for the patient, because that means if it's the right thing at the right time, then I'm ready for it. Then I can take it. My body can take it. My mind can take it. You know? For example, let's say we have something difficult to say to somebody. Huh? Then also you wait for the right time. You wait for a moment where then you can say it. So it's not that you just say the first time you see the person. You try to find the right moment, and then you say, listen, I'm very sorry, but I want to quit my job, or whatever it is. Yeah, it's not that you just blast it out the first moment you see it. You try to find the right time. Okay, so it's not that we are ignorant to that thing. We know that thing, but we do it kind of by intuition. You know? We don't have really a structure for it. It's not that we can say, yeah, because it's like this. Okay, so the minds, they have a structure because they know the whole thing repeats itself. So slowly through observation, they created this thing which is a Tzolk'in, the mind spiritual calendar. Okay, so it's a matrix. It's nothing else than a matrix. So it has an axis, an x-axis, and an epsilon axis. So it's a matrix of two aspects. It's a matrix of 20 and 13. So it has 260 different possible constellation, you know, and you've seen in your level 1 workbook, you have the Tzolk'in. I will give it to you again when we work with it, but just to remind you. And so this is the Tzolk'in, which is based on the number 20 and the number 13. Now, the number 20 are the 20 glyphs, the 20 glyphs that you already know from the basic course when we put them on they define the Mayan gates. Just the Mayan gates, there's not really any order in the basic course. You just learn more or less who they are and where they are, but you don't understand really the order. Really, there is an order. So anyways, these are 20 glyphs. The Mayan gates are a little bit more because sometimes we have 2 gates for 1 glyph on the body. So therefore, they're more, they're 26. And but the original glyphs, they are just 20. Okay, and we could say this is the male aspect of the Tzolk'in, these 20 glyphs. And their counting system, the mind counting system, also is based on the number 20. So we go from 10 to 100 to 1,000. They go from 20 to 400 to 8,000. So 20 by 20 by 20, okay, is far more complicated to calculate like this. The decimal system 10 by 10 by 10 is far more easy, and just add zeros and you get there very easily. The 20 system is more complicated. The only language which has something of the 20 system left is French. For example, in French, 80 is 4 times 20, 80. Okay, in French. So they count the numbers 63 times 20. So this is the only thing left. Otherwise, everywhere we use the decimal system. However, the minds use the Vengesimal system, the system based on 20. Now, what's the difference? The difference, apart from the 10 system, is more practical, but 10 system are the 10 finger of the hands. So it's related to the hand, and therefore it's related to the mind. 20 is the 10 fingers of the hands and the 10 toes of the feet, the 10 finger of the feet. So it includes the contact with the earth. It's grounded. It's grounded, it's more holistic, you know, and the problem with our decimal system is that it got us out of the contact with the earth. And now we're having this catastrophes, climate and stuff, because we didn't think to develop in a way more in harmony with the earth. So now we're trying to catch up, but of course, it's not easy. So naturally, the 20 system is slower. The 10 system is faster. But this is another inevitable reality of adapting better to the rhythm of the climate, to the planet, is that we'll have to slow down. No, it's not we can just speed around like crazy and keep everything in harmony. We have to slow down a little bit. You know, when you go to the city, you know, let's go to Los Angeles and you see the highways, everything moving. If you go to the forest, it's not that you see this kind of thing. Okay? It's not that there are things moving around like crazy and stuff. No, it's just it's comparatively quiet, you know, a little bit here, a little, you know, it's so, you know, the nature is not so fast like us. So the 20 system slows us down. So 20 is one aspect, and it's really about the whole human being, hand and feet, really being grounded in the human reality. But it's also, we could say, somehow a little bit the male aspect of the system. Then we have the other thing, which is a number 13. The number 13 is the 13 phases of the moon. So in one year, we have 13 full moon phases. So that's when the 20 relates to the human being, the 13 relates already more to the universe, yeah? The moon phases, the 13. And we would say that's a female aspect, because the moon is strongly associated with the female aspect. So we have the male aspect and the female aspect in the Tzolk'in, and they are combined, okay? So that's why we have 20 by 13, 260. Okay? So we have 260 days, which have each one a different constellation. So the 20 we call the glyphs, and the 13 we call the tones, you know, like different tones of the octave, and the glyphs, the 20 glyphs. So to each glyph, there are 13 different tones. So you have certain different shades of each glyph. You know? So if we take the first glyph, the dragon, then we have dragon with the number 1, dragon with the number 2, dragon with the number 3, and so on. So we have 13 different types of dragon, different combination. And this is true for all the other glyphs. Okay? So we have 260 different energetic constellation, and then it repeats. After 260, it repeats again. Okay, so repetition, repetition, repetition. When does it start and when does it end? It ends never. It started some hypothetical date in the past. Now, so as far as this is concerned, again, there are different theories and different systems. One theory says it started 140 million years in the past. Another it started, I don't know how many thousand years in the past. Another it started 17 million years in the past. So there are different theories, but the concept is the same. It starts in the past and they start to count. That's why the Mayan calendar, we have this calendar where to each day of the year or each day we're looking at, there corresponds a glyph and a tone, but there corresponds also a number. We have in the Mayan system what is called the long count. So they're starting by the day 0, the beginning of their universe, and then they count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe today is the day 13,146,311. And tomorrow will be 13,312, okay? So they start from the beginning all the way down. So which system we use? We use a system which is most popular system, which has a certain beginning date, and most people use this system. It's like the most recognized. Probably this was the most system they used. And then it's not that we can count thousands from year down. So in the past, we were using like tables with the dates, and then calculate which date of the year was which date of the Tzolk'in was your birthday, or was the day of today, and things like that. And nowadays there are some applications that you can use on the handy phone, on the mobile phone. And we use this usually. It's much more faster. Go there, and we'll do tomorrow, not today. So then we can find which day of the Tzolk'in is today or tomorrow, or when you were born, or when the patient were born. Okay. do we need the day? Because we need the day because that's the day where you get into the rhythm. That's a movement. That's the kind of movement you pick up in your life that then will determine, depending on where you start your life on the cycle, and it will have an influence on your life. And you can understand better the rhythm of your life, and you can harmonize better with that rhythm. Okay, so that's the idea of the Zolkin, the Mayan calendar, and that's what we're going to use. Now, to be able to work with the Mayan calendar, of course, you need to understand a little bit about the glyphs and about the tones. Okay, so we're going to talk about all the glyphs a bit more in detail. You know, in the basic course, we talked a little bit about it, but not really very much. So in this course, we're going to talk in detail about it. We're going to talk much more about it, and you will get a deeper understanding of it, which will then enable you to work also with it in a more effective way. So what are the glyphs and the tones about? What are they about? Okay, so on your birthday or today, there is one glyph active and there's one tone active. What does it mean? What's the difference between the glyphs and the tone? So you have to imagine the glyphs like the circumstances, like the stage. Like if you're in a theater, there's a decorated stage, and the stage, they are the circumstances. You know, maybe the stage is decorated as a jungle. Maybe the stage is decorated as a city. Maybe the stage is decorated as a desert. Okay, so how it's decorated, that are the circumstances in which the actor will then appear and play. Okay, so there's the circumstances in the life, we could say, and then there's the actor himself. Now the actor is moving himself in these circumstances, and he goes through his development in these circumstances. So the glyphs, they relate to the circumstances in our life. The tones, they relate to our inner development, what is happening inside ourselves. So the tones are what is happening, the kind of energy that's around us, the glyphs, the energy that surround us. The tones tell us how we deal with this energy. Okay, so the tones are about the development more of the individual. The glyphs are more what we deal with, what surrounds us. Okay, so yes, it sounds a bit abstract, but it will become more clear when we get into it into more in more detail. Okay, good. So the first thing we need to do is that we go deeper into the glyphs. The glyphs already you know from the basic level, already you've heard about them. So now it's about understanding them more. So it's about illuminating the symbol. Okay, so that means we are filling the symbol with content. But this content is not only information. It's not only a sack full of information. This content should enable you to make a bridge to your heart, your body, your mind, to your whole being, to experience this symbol in a different way. Where can I recognize this kind of energy inside myself? How is this kind of energy moving inside myself? So then when you recognize the energy inside yourself, then you become more clearer, more understanding about the symbol. And then you will be also more able to work with these kind of concepts. Now, otherwise, it becomes difficult. If you do it just from the intellectual part, it's a bit difficult because there's a lot of information to memorize. You cannot really memorize just like this. You can, of course, but then when it's memorized, you know, when you memorize, when you recall something that you memorized, it's always dead. It's always dead. So let's say if you read a poem, if you just talk a poem that you memorized, it will be dead. Unless you bring the poem to life, that means you fill it with the energy of the moment, with your energy, it will be just the empty information. Is no words. It's no energy there. Huh? That's why any music you listen to, you go to the concert or to the opera, is always the interpretation of the artist that brings the music alive. Just the music itself is just repetition. Even if you play it by memory on the piano, it will not give you anything unless it comes alive. So it's about making it alive. So this way you need to learn the symbol. You need to make it alive. You need to be able to feel it. Then when you feel it, it will be more easy to fill it with content, yeah? To get the associations and to get the different depths and the different layers of the symbol. Okay, so again, I mean, we're going to talk a lot about the glyphs, but I mean, there's always much more to it. Huh? There's one aspect we're dealing with, and there are 5 aspects, but there's always also a deeper level to it. Now, the language of the symbol, you can use it on any language, on any level. You can use it on the physical level, you can use it on the emotional level, and you can use it on the mental level. You know, now this is something, when we do the level 4, we talk about these things, you know, where we talk more in practical about how the body is organized and the energy is organized and stuff. But this is important to understand because I need to know where my patient's problem is. Is it in the physical really, or is it more in the mental, or is it more in the emotional? And then the symbol again, also the glyph, will express differently in these different levels. Huh? Okay, so anyway, let's start with the first glyph. Okay, so here we can really say the first, because there is a beginning. Even so, it's a continuous circle, it never ends. Okay, but we put a beginning, and we understand the beginning also in the way the energy develops and unfolds in this circle. So from that, we understand that there is really a beginning, and then in the end, when there's a second round, then there's also really a second level. Okay, so the designs we use, you know, is the same as we, you know, from the level 1. They come basically from Agility. They are simplifications of the mind glyph. So if you look at the original glyph, it will look far more complicated, but we simplify it to recognize it. Okay, so this would be the first glyph, and the first glyph we talk about. Okay, now which glyph is this? This is the glyph of the dragon. This is the dragon. Okay, now what's the dragon about? Now, one thing you see, that each of these glyphs has a color, and this color for us is important. So this is red. This is red. And red is always about energy. Okay, so red is about the raw energy, the life energy, you could say. Okay, then the second color we have is white. White is about the mental sphere, is about thinking, is about everything we do with the mind. Is also about wisdom, is about thinking, is about realization, is about understanding, it's about, you could say, spirituality. It's all everything that comes from the mind. Okay, that is the white, and we will use these colors then also, and we can also use the color of the beamer pen concerning to the color of the glyph. Then we have another color, which is the blue. Blue has to do especially with the emotional aspect. It's the sea of emotions, you know, just like the sea also is blue. So the blue relates more to the emotional aspects. the emotions that move us, the emotions that we produce, and the emotion that we cultivate, and the emotions we cherish. And all this is related to the blue. Okay, now that doesn't mean that it's only emotion, but it's like the underlying power goes deeper. It goes not into the mind, it goes into the emotion. No? Now what's the difference between the mind and the emotion? The difference is in the physiology involved. You know, emotion always moves the body, chemistry, let's say. Okay, the mind not. You can think in your body, nothing happens. Okay, so in this way, the emotion is more powerful. And then we have a third color, yellow. Okay, now, you know, in our soma, for example, yellow is related to the mind very much. We know that yellow is related to the third chakra and to the nervous system and stuff. Okay, but here in the mind color, in the mind culture, it's different. Yellow is related to the earth. Okay, so yellow is about grounding, is about the earth. Whatever we do materially, what we manifest, that is the yellow color. So the yellow color is about material aspect. Manifestation is about the earth, is the color of the earth. So in this way, the colors are a bit different in the mind system from maybe what we are used from the chakras and from the bima, from our soma and stuff. Now here is important so you don't get confused. You need to be aware in which area you're moving yourself. Okay, so if I work with the chakras, then I will work with the colors in a certain way. But if I work with the mind calendar and the mind gates on the mind calendar level, then I will work with the color in a different way. And the color will have a different effect. Okay, so the color I use gets potentized by the system I use, by the choice I make. Okay, so it's not just the color working by itself. The color will have a different effect depending on the context it's operating in. And the context it's operating is I'm setting with my mind. It's my intention. Okay, so the intention then will direct the work of the color in a different way, in a certain way. It's not just the beamer pen, the color by itself. It's the intention that directs it. Okay, so therefore the color can have a different meaning, and I direct it differently. Okay, so this is important to understand, because otherwise you say, hey man, I learned everything different about these colors. Yeah, you learned everything different about these colors, and it's okay. But here, so to say, we do something different. Okay, here it's different. So we use a color in a different way. So that is important to understand. Otherwise, you will have difficulty because the information might conflict with other information you might have. So I want to see what I can show you this here. Just a second. Just a second. So just a second, I need to find the right image that I want to show you. Okay. Okay. Sorry, this took a bit long. Okay, can you see it?
Mhm.
So you see, these are the glyphs designed in a bit different way, but anyway, it starts here. This is a dragon. Okay, can you see? And it goes around. This is the way it goes. So dragon, so it goes from red to white to blue to yellow. Then it starts again. Red, white, blue, yellow. Red, white, blue, yellow. Red, white, blue, yellow. Red, white, blue, yellow. So we have 5 units. We have 5 units of red, white, blue, yellow. So these are like a group. So they are unit in themselves. And then we have all the red glyphs, all the white glyphs, all the blue glyphs, and all the yellow glyphs. And we can say this is like the family. So we have the group and the family. This is like the structure we have inside the Zolkin. And then you see here also the 13 tones. This is the way the mind's number. This is 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, and the 5 is aligned like this. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 times 5, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so these are the tones, and it's necessary to become acquainted with this kind of the way they write it, because this then we'll find inside the Tolkien also. And you know, you need to know that this is 3 is 3 dots, 8 is 5 and 3 dots, 9 is 5 and 4 dots. Okay, so this is something to become acquainted with. You'll get this, you know, I will send it to you as a PDF. Okay, so this is important to understand about the basic structure. So we will start with the dragon, and then we will start with the dragon, and then we'll move to the wind, and then we'll move to the night, and then we'll move to the sea, and so on. Okay, and we're gonna go through all these 20 different glyphs individually, and we'll discuss their meaning and their significance on the different levels. Okay, so up till here, I think it's not so difficult. I think you got the idea, and so what we're going to do is that we're going to start with the dragon glyph. So now we're going to have a 20 minutes break as in the schedule, and then we will start with the glyphs. Okay. And then also after the break, if you have any question up till now, but I don't think so, then anyway, if you have, you can ask. Okay, so let's have a 20 minutes break and then we come back. See you later.